Hello BookTube, Sarah here, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with another weekly reading vlog. Today is the 16th of February. It is Sunday. It is a bit earlier than I normally come and talk to you guys. It's actually just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but I thought I would get this filmed because I am going out with my mom this afternoon, and then I should be home just after 7, but I want to get a couple other videos filmed today. But I might push it off till tomorrow because I much prefer doing this in natural light, because if not, I end up getting these weird shadows from the light, from my light source. So it's always nicer to do if I can during natural light. But anyway, yeah, so to start off the vlog, as I like to do on Sundays now, is I'm going to share with you guys my reading plans for the week and what I plan on reading and what I plan on finishing. And then I actually have a little book haul to show you guys. I stopped after I dropped my husband off at work just now at the thrift store, and I picked up a couple books, so I thought I would show those to you guys as well. So to get started off with, let's jump into my weekly reading plans. I do like doing this. I mean, I haven't been 100% successful the last couple times that I've shared this with you guys, but it's kind of a really nice jumping off point for me to talk about, you know, what my plans are for the week. And, you know, like I've said before, to kind of hold myself accountable just a little bit. So as usual, these are broken down into categories. So starting off with the, oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong sheet here. Ooh, that's helpful. To start off with, let's talk about the audiobooks that I would like to start and finish this week. So first of all, I am more than halfway through The Long Shot by Ellen Hartman. I was just listening to this one in the car. This is a really fun story. It is about a man who played professional basketball in the NBA for like a season, and his former guidance counselor in school. So it's like I don't want to say it's a teacher-student relationship because he's 28 years old now, so he's not a kid, and nothing ever happened between the two of them when he was in school. She thought, you know, like he had potential, and it was never a crush thing. Also, the age difference is not that great because he was in his senior year of high school while she was in her first year teaching or as a guidance counselor. So the age difference is not that big. But anyway, he has come back to the small town that he was raised in because she has called him and said she needs his help coaching the girls' basketball team, which does not get the recognition that the boys' basketball team gets. And it's really interesting to me reading this book because you kind of really see the big push with high school and college sports. It's not something that's as big a deal here in Canada, I don't think. You know, as I'm saying that, there's probably a lot of you Canadians out there going, yes, it is. My son is going to be pro, you know, or my daughter or whatever. But it's just not as big a deal. I mean, there's the NCAA championships, you know, college ball. My father always loved watching college basketball or college football, excuse me. And I know that's also a big deal. So I get it, and I see it on a college level. But it's just odd seeing it in high school, but I guess they have to start somewhere. That a lot of these kids often get recruited, you know, even in hockey or baseball, get recruited right out of high school to play, you know, in the majors. And you're asking these 18-year-old kids to sign contracts for massive amounts of money. Some of them come from nothing. And this is the case with Deacon in this story, is that he had nothing. Both of his parents had unfortunately passed away, and he actually had custody or was trying to get custody of his 8-year-old brother. So, you know, I mean, there's kind of a lot at play, and you can see this being something that may have actually happened. Now, the side thing with this is that Deacon actually can't read. He graduated from high school he's illiterate. And it's, again, you wonder how many kids slip through the cracks, especially kids who excel at sports. And, you know, if you just keep playing and you play well, we will make your grades look good kind of an idea. And he was able to fake his way through it a lot of the time. And that's just so sad because you probably see that happening a lot. So yeah, I am actually really enjoying this one. I'm really liking the themes in it. I'm really enjoying the, you know, a lot of the aspects of it and things like that. And the characters are great in this one. This is the first in the Fallon Brothers duology. I've actually read the second book, which is about Deacon's younger brother, Wes. And Wes, like I said, is 10 years younger. So in this story, Deacon is 28 and Wes is only 18. But when Wes gets his own story, he's in his mid-20s, so it's interesting watching him now as a kid and seeing how he progressed to be in the second story. So I really do think if you want to read these, to read them in proper order, read this one first and then read Wes's story. You might get a little bit more out of it than I am, but not that I'm discounting it. I'm still really enjoying it. The other one I plan on starting and finishing this week is Mermaid Inn. I think I had this one last week to start it, but I didn't get around to it. Or I haven't. The Matchmaker's list that I read last week took me a little bit longer to get through than I anticipated. But I've got Mermaid Inn to listen to on audio. I did get a copy of it on audio. I did actually get the e-arc from NetGalley and from the publisher. That this book actually came out in January, so I plan to listen to it this week and get my review up for it. I don't like being late with these, but it is what it is. I think as long as you get them reviewed, and not 6 years later, you're doing pretty good. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to this one. It is a contemporary romance. I believe it takes place in a small town. The cover is just delightful, and that's what drew me in the first place. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then I do plan on also starting this week. I won't get it done this week, but I plan on starting an Incantation of Cats by, I think it's Clea Simon. And this is a cozy mystery. I think it's book 2 in the Witch Cats mystery series. And this is another one that I got as an e-arc from NetGalley, but I did grab a copy on audio. So I am looking very much forward to it. This one comes out on Tuesday. So I have to wait until after Tuesday to listen to it when the audiobook comes in. Or is released, I should say. But yeah, this one, this was actually published in January, but the audiobook wasn't coming out till February. So, I mean, you see that oftentimes. But yeah, it's a cozy mystery involving cats. Of course, I'm going to love it. So on to my ebooks that I plan on reading this week. And the first one that I'm currently reading is Hometown Cowboy by Sarah Richardson. This one is really cute. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Sarah Richardson. She writes some great cowboy contemporary romance. This is the story of Lance and Jessa May. And Lance is a professional rodeo rider. He's a bull rider. And Jessa has lived in this small town of Topaz Falls in Colorado her whole life, and she is done with love. She has been engaged 3 times, and all 3 times, the guys broke her heart, so she's pretty much washing her hands of the whole thing. And she's known Lance since they were kids because their fathers were good friends. And a year prior to the story starting, Jessa's dad actually died. He was out walking on the trails with Lance's dad, and he suffered a heart attack and passed away. And there were some really poignant scenes earlier on in the book that I read when when Lance's own father, he's older, I mean, he's in his late 60s, went missing on the trails. So of course, Jessa's first thing is that, oh my God, what if he's hurt? What if he's died and no one's with him? And she had this, it brought me to tears, to be honest, with the fact that I just, lost my own dad a month ago in completely different circumstances. Dad was hospitalized with cancer, but still a lot of what she said is poignant, or what was said in the book is poignant to how I myself feel in a way. And it's like, he was alone, or, what were those last few minutes like? And it did bring me to tears reading it, because and then she said something that just made me cry a lot, which was she missed being somebody's little girl. And I don't want to start crying, but yes, I felt that on an extreme level. And I really, really like this character. So beyond that, essentially, Lance has quote unquote hired Jessa to stay with his dad, because he's now taking to wandering off. It sounds like, though, reading the book, that the father might have the beginning stages of Alzheimer's or dementia, because one day he's okay and the next day he's not. So, they figure, oh, he's fine, he just had an off day yesterday. But I think reading into the story a bit more that might be the case. So we shall see how the book progresses as I read through it this week. The next one I plan on starting and finishing is Sisters by Choice by Susan Mallory. This is the new Susan Mallory that comes out this month. I don't know if it's already been I think it's already been released. But I do have this one as an e-arc from the publisher, so I will be getting to that one and getting my review up this week. So yay, I am very, very much looking forward to this one. I believe this is part of the Blackberry Island series that she wrote, and it's about three female cousins. So it's more of a women's fiction than a contemporary romance, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. And the last one that I plan on starting, but will not get it done this week, it is a longer book. It comes in at just under 600 pages, and that is A Cowboy for All Seasons. And I just want to make sure I get all the authors right. This is an anthology, and it's by the great Maisie Yates. I love her. Nicole Helm, another favorite author. Caitlin Cruz, I have read a few books by her, and I really enjoy her. And an author I am not familiar with, which is always delightful, and that is Jackie Ashenden, I believe is how you pronounce her name. So essentially, these are 4 connected stories, and I love that in an anthology. And it's about, I think it's 4 sisters, and how something happens with a will, that they all, of course, have to find love or something to get the property. I'm not absolutely certain. I could be completely wrong. But each story happens during a different season, starting with the spring, summer, fall, and winter. So, this is going to be so, so good. I cannot wait to start it. This is another e-arc that I got from the publisher, so thank you to Harlequin for this one. And I was so, so thrilled when I was approved for this one, because like I said, huge, huge fan of Maisie Yates and Nicole Helm. And I do like, I like Caitlin Cruz, and I'm so looking forward to reading something by a new-to-me author. So this one should be fantastic. Another great cowboy romance. You guys know how much I love those. So the other 2 books that I'm going to talk about really quickly, let me reach for the one, is the book off my Harlequin shelf, which is The Right Twin by Laura Marie Altum. I'll get this one done by next Saturday. I talked about this one in my last vlog. It is about a woman who has a twin sister, and her twin sister owns and runs an inn. And the sister decides to go away with her fiance. So she leaves her twin, whose name is Sarah, to run the inn in her place, because there is going to be a surprise hidden reviewer. Like, you don't know that he's the reviewer, like a reviewer for like a travel magazine or something coming in. And so of course she wants everything to run smoothly, so she leaves it in the capable hands of her sister, and her sister ends up falling for the reviewer. So, but both of them are actually lying about different things. So that should be very, very interesting the way it eventually plays out. I am only right now, I haven't gotten very far in it. I'm about 70 pages of the way through it, but I will definitely get this one done by next Saturday. And last but not least, the other book that I plan on finishing by next Saturday is my Back to My Childhood book. And that is Nancy's Mysterious Letter by Carolyn Keene. I think it's book 8 in the Nancy Drew Mystery Stories series. Nancy receives a letter from someone in England claiming that she might be the heir to some, fortune or something. But Nancy knows right away it's not her, but now she's trying to figure out who this other Nancy Drew is, who this letter actually belongs to. So, yeah. So far, it's cute. I mean, these were written in the 1930s, so there is a very, very, a lot of nostalgia with these, not just because I read them in my childhood, but because of the time period that they were written in. They're very quaint, and I am enjoying reading through them quite a bit. So those are my reading plans for the week. I know it sounds like a lot, but you guys know me. I always have multiple books on the go. I'm also currently reading the Australia book by various authors. I will touch more on that as, the week goes on. Maybe, like, not every day, but maybe I'll talk about it on Tuesday or Thursday or something and let you guys know if I've finished any more stories in it. But before I let you guys go from this clip right now, I do have a little book haul to share with you. I think I mentioned that I stopped at the thrift store and I picked up 5 new books for my Harlequin shelf. These are the only books that I actually purchase in physical format now, because I just don't have the shelf space for anything else. I do actually, my mom said that there's another bookcase in their basement. She's trying to clear house, so eventually she can sell the house and move in the next year or so. And she said I could have that bookcase, so I will now have 2 Harlequin shelf bookcases, meaning I can fill another one of these. And this one isn't even completely filled. So that makes me very excited and makes my husband groan. Because I want all the books. This is my collection. This is my wall of Harlequins. So yeah, so let me show you what I got, because these are 99 cents each, and if you buy 5 of them, you get one for free. So five books for $4, or $3.98 or whatever it is. Yes, please. So I ended up getting The Doctor Plus 4 by Jacqueline Diamond. This is a Harlequin American romance novel. It looks really cute. number 1130, and this was originally published in 2006. So it's an older one. I do like finding the older ones if I can, because that's a lot of fun. So I got that one. I also got, I don't know much about all of these. I just picked them up because I'm just trying to like fill in spots. I will never, ever, ever be able to collect every single one that's been published, but I do like having this collection. I got Marrying the Northbridge Nanny by Victoria Pade. I've read her before. This is part of the Northbridge Nuptials series. This was published in 2010. Yeah, so obviously something about, you know, a single dad and a nanny, clearly. But I really, really like her as an author. Is there something on the cover, or is that her sweater? Oh, that's an ugly sweater. I thought it had, like, dirt on the cover, but no, that's her sweater. That's unfortunate. Oh, it was 2010. Next up, I found a Silhouette Romantic Suspense, which is now the Harlequin Romantic Suspense line when Harlequin and Silhouette merged, excuse me. This, if you noticed, was also a Silhouette novel, a Silhouette special edition before the merge. And this is Stranded with a Spy by Merlane Lovelace. I mean, if you're going to be stranded with somebody, you know, maybe not a spy. I don't know. Oh, and on the back it says Escape from Hell. Oh, I'm totally intrigued now. This is part of the Codename Danger series. Sparked by danger, fueled by passion. Yeah, so this one should be fun. I like Marlene Lovelace. I've read her before. So that one should be really good. And then I picked up, talking about old books, I got an old this one is from 2007. I got an old intrigue novel. I do love finding these. This is number 245. So this is Keeping Secrets by Jasmine Cresswell. And yeah, it looks like obviously something happens on a boat. And I do like these covers. This was originally published in, doesn't say. It says intro on it. What does that mean? 245. You gonna give me a date on this somewhere? 1993. I wasn't even in high school yet. This one came out. So yeah, very, very excited. It says introductory copy on it for some reason. I don't know what that means. Maybe it was like a promo or something like that, but it's clearly marked at the side what number it is. So yeah, this one should be good. And then last but not least, I often find these ones are hard to find, or maybe they're just not shelved correctly at the thrift stores. But this is a Harlequin historical novel. And it is Cooper's Wife by Gillian Hart. I really do like her as an author. This is a Western. I love the Westerns. They're some of my favorites. No idea what number this is because they are not numbered on the side for some reason. But I think part of the reason is because with the regular line, I mean, you clearly know that this is a romantic suspense or that this is a special edition. You know what I mean? Whereas the historicals are not. Now the ones that are being published, do I have one handy? No, I do not. They're back behind there somewhere. But now with the Harlequin historicals, they have a thing here that it looks like a seal, like an old wax seal. It comes down here so you can clearly see it's a historical. But now they're changing the design of the covers again. And they're going to have these like little flags in different colors and stuff. But these old ones, you can't really tell, you know, that it was a historical unless you look at the side. And you probably can't see that because it's not focusing. But it will say, plus it looks like it's been read. So, you know, there, I don't know if you guys can see that. It says Harlequin Historical, and then it's got the symbol up there. So, you know, it's kind of hard to tell. And it also says it down here too, Harlequin Historicals. So this one, okay, so they do give you the numbers on the inside. And this came out in 1999, and it is number 485 in the series. Oh, also that came out in November of 99 was Lady Sarah's Son by Gayle Wilson. That one would be fun too to read. But yeah, so I do love the Western ones. They're my favorite. And then not Harlequin, but I picked these up because I often like to look at the children's books just to see. I know I said the only ones I really get in physical copy are my Harlequins, but I am on the hunt for the Sweet Valley High special editions. Not the regular line, because the regular line is all available on Kindle. But the special editions, the Magna editions, you know, all those are not available. And same with the Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys books. They are also not available on ebook. So I always try and hunt those out if I can. 9 times out of 10, I have to end up ordering them online because I just cannot find them in the thrift stores, but occasionally I'll get lucky. So I often check the children's books. So when I was looking at the children's books, I ran across 2 of these old golden books, little golden books, and there were 3 that I had as a child that I distinctly remember. One was called Panda Bear's Paint Box, which I need to hunt out. I'm sure I can find it on Amazon as a used copy, because I'd love that for like a collector's thing. And the other 2 were both Christmas stories, and I found them both, you guys. I couldn't believe it. I believe both of these came out in the late 70s, but we had copies of these. And I was so, sorry, flipping my own hair back, so super thrilled. First one, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So this is not getting added to my TBR or anything like that. It's for display purposes only. I mean, I totally remember my dad reading these to me and my brother, you know, with those old, isn't it? Oh, they're just so delightful, you guys. They are so delightful. I am so thrilled that I found this. You know, I might take this over, you know, next Christmas to read to my nephew. This one is written inside. It belonged to somebody named Tessa. So thank you, Tessa, for sharing your book with me. But yeah, I did find that, and I'm so thrilled. And the other one that really, really made me happy, The Night Before Christmas by Clement Clarke Moore. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Absolute. I can see this book on my shelf as a child. Do you know what I mean? This one did say on the inside it was published in 79. I'm assuming the Rudolph one was published at the same time because I believe these golden books are numbered. So this is 452 and this is 450. So my assumption is right around the same time. Late 70s, early 80s. But guys, the drawings in this. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Look at this. Look at it, you guys. Oh, this just makes me so happy. Look at the graphics in it. I was beyond thrilled when I saw this. I love it. So this is going to be displayed on my shelf come Christmas time. Oh, that's the Santa Claus I know and love. But yeah, so there's my little book haul, you guys. I do hope that you enjoyed it. So I'm going to let you go. Bit of a longer clip, but usually the first one is. Tomorrow is a holiday for me, so I will be home. But I will check in with you guys tomorrow and give you guys a reading update. Talk to you later. Bye, guys. Bernard in his after-dinner pose. Hi everybody, happy Monday. It is the 17th of February and it is about 7:15 at night. Today is actually Family Day in the province of Ontario. It's a stat holiday. It's not a stat holiday. It's a holiday that was started by the government years ago, maybe a decade ago. I can't remember exactly when it was started, but you know, it's supposed to be a day that you spend with your family. And most things are closed. Like Walmart is closed, all the grocery stores, the mall. You know, like fast food places are open, gas stations are open, you know, the local Tim Hortons, there's a drugstore, Shoppers Drug Mart up here that is open all the time. It's even open on Christmas. And I really like that idea because in case of an emergency, you know, if you needed something, you know, Shoppers is, you know, they're always open. But my place of work was closed. Now, my brother had to work today, and in years past when I worked for the old company, we didn't get Family Day. They considered it to be a floating holiday, and because we were closed between Christmas and New Year's, we were on shutdown, that they kind of moved that floating holiday to then, which was fine. But it was kind of nice for the first time in a good number of years for me to actually have today off. And the other great thing too is that Garrett was actually off as well. He got the day off too, so we actually got to spend the day together, which was kind of nice, which is rare. Very rare for the both of us to be off together on the same day. So not much. It was a very lazy day this morning, and then we ended up going to bingo this afternoon, and I won, so that was kind of nice. And now we're home. I wasn't in any kind of mood to cook tonight, so we ended up stopping at Burger King on the way home, and I just had a Whopper Jr., and that was yummy. So I am waiting right now. My computer, I went to go use it, and I need a new laptop, and I've mentioned this before, because for no reason at all, it will completely drop the Wi-Fi connection, and I can't put it back on. I actually have to physically shut down and restart the computer for it to connect to the Wi-Fi again. And when I went to go do that, it said it had to do an update as well. Great, and I love that, because you never get a choice. It's just going to update your computer. So I'm waiting for that, and I thought, okay, I'll sit down and chat with you guys while I'm waiting for my computer to do its thing. So yeah, so it's been a nice day, back to work tomorrow. Luckily though, it's only a 4-day work week, which is, that's the one nice thing about a long weekend is that, when you do go back to work, it's only it's only a short work week. So, what do I want to share with you guys reading wise? I got some good reading done today so far. And it's, like I said, it's only 7:15. I got about 3 hours before I have to go to bed. So lots of time to get some more reading done. But I did finish a book today, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So today I finished reading The Long Shot by Ellen Hartman. This is the first book in the Fallon Brothers series, and I talked about what this one was about yesterday. And I really, really enjoyed it. I haven't decided on my final star rating yet. That's what I was going to go on to my computer and do and get all that, update everything. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with a 4 or a 4.5 star rating. It was really good. Like I said yesterday, it was about Deacon and Julia are our two main characters. And he has kind of been scouted out in a way. He's a he played in the NBA for a couple of seasons before he got injured. And he grew up in this small town that Julia lives in, and she's the guidance counselor at the high school. And she has kind of asked him to come in and help coach, the girls basketball team. And it was a really enjoyable story. I liked it a lot. I just, I really liked a lot of the themes that were addressed in this with, besides the romance between Deacon and Julia, was also, the state of sports in high school and how oftentimes the boys' teams are given preferential treatment over the girls' teams. If there's only so much money to dole around, a lot of schools will dole out that money more towards the boys' teams than to the girls' teams. And that's addressed in this. Also, illiteracy is also addressed in this book because Deacon cannot read. He made it all the way through high school without being able to read because he was such a phenomenal basketball player. And, they would just kind of let him do whatever in order to allow him to continue to play basketball. So again, that's not something that is out of the norm. I'm sure it happens all the time, and it's sad. I remember personally my own high school that I went to. The year that I started in grade 9, I remember that first day, my best friend and I walking into the high school and going, oh my gosh, there were these big, huge football players. And I mean, they had like full beards and these guys were not 18-year-olds, let's put it that way. And the joke around the school is that they were in the 8-year program, and that they were being kind of kept in school in a way to continue to play football. So that kind of stopped the year after, when I got into grade 10. But that had been going on for a number of years at my own high school. So it's a thing, and I know it's a thing in order for these high school sports teams to win awards or to win playoff games or to win what have you, right? So I really like the issues that were addressed in this book. If you are into high school sports at all, or you got kids who are in high school sports and you understand and can appreciate what is kind of being discussed in this book, I highly recommend that you read it. It's part of the Audible Escape package because I listened to it on audio and I really, really liked it. The other book that I've been reading on today is Hometown Cowboy by Sarah Richardson. I am about 40% of the way through it at this point. I plan on getting a bit more read, at least another 7 or 8 chapters read tonight before I go to bed. I talked about this one yesterday, so I'm not going to reiterate that again. But my suspicions that Lance's father has Alzheimer's or the beginning stages of Alzheimer's or dementia are looking to be true, or something is definitely going on with him. And that is kind of starting to happen right now, where Jessa, our main female lead, has gone to rescue a cat because she actually owns and runs, she's a vet, she owns and runs a animal shelter. So she brings Linus, the dad, with her, and she sends him off to go get a ladder so she can get this cat out of a tree, and he disappears. He's gone. So my assumption is that he's wandered away, it's a lot of Alzheimer and dementia patients do that. My aunt has dementia, and she's in a home, and they do tend to wander. So I'm having to wonder if that's what's going on with the father. But it's a really good story so far. The romance between Jessa and Lance is very cute. But of course, you've got this other issue that is kind of prevalent within the story with the father, and I really like that this is being addressed. Again, you don't know exactly what it is yet, but that is my assumption. But I actually hope to get this one done tomorrow. I'd hope to get it done today, but I actually didn't do a lot of reading yesterday, so yeah, I'm hoping to get it done tomorrow. And what else have I been reading on today? I'm going to start Mermaid Inn by Jenny Holiday on audio while I'm kind of doing my book updates and all those things on my computer. I'm going to start listening to that one. And I plan on reading a couple more chapters in The Right Twin by Laura Marie Altum. And I'm hoping to read a few more chapters in the Nancy Drew book that I'm reading, Nancy's Mysterious Letters. So that's my reading update for today. And yeah, that's about all that I have. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow after work. Take care and happy reading. I don't know why I'm signing off as if it's the end of a video. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Happy Tuesday. It is the 18th today, the 18th of February, and it is about 6 o'clock at night. I've been home for about 15-20 minutes, and I've already been productive. I sat down and filmed a video because I was lazy over the long weekend and got no videos filmed. So I did film one. I try and get my videos up on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so if I can get this one edited in enough time, I will post this tonight. If not, it might go up Wednesday morning, but regardless, you guys will have seen it before you see this. So it was my March anticipated reads. And the other one I want to film later this week, but I'm not prepared for it yet. I might film that on Thursday night, is the Harlequin anticipated reads video. So you guys will have probably already seen that as well. Reading, and then I did have a reading. I acquired something, or I purchased an item for reading. Third time's a charm on this. I'll talk about it in just a minute. So, reading update for today. I have read a bit more, and I plan on reading more tonight, of Hometown Cowboy by Sarah Richardson. I am absolutely loving it. It is a fantastic book. I'm just making sure I'm still recording now because my mother is calling me currently on my phone. Mom, I'll call you right back. So, so anyway, it's really good. And I mentioned in my last clip that there's something going on with the dad. And in what I read at lunch, you find out what it is. I'm not going to tell you guys. I was close, but I wasn't absolutely correct. But now Lance is mad at Jessa because she was keeping it from him, like keeping the fact that the father had these appointments and things like that. So that's where we are right now, and Lance is about to head off to the rodeo championships in Las Vegas. So yeah, this one is getting interesting. My goal is to finish this tonight. I think I've got 6 chapters left. Can totally get this done tonight. The other thing that got, excuse me, I've got the hiccups, that got, oh, pardon me, that I got a fair amount of reading done on today. I got 8 chapters read, is Mermaid Inn by Jenny Holiday, and it is delightful, you guys, absolutely delightful. You look at the cover of this book and you automatically think, okay, it's a beach town, blah, 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 and yes, but it takes place in Canada. This is the 3rd book in the last little while that has, been by a Canadian author. Jenny Holiday is Canadian, and the 2nd book that has taken place in Ontario. So, The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. Simone St. James is Canadian, and I happened to be on her Instagram, and she was showing, like, her list of, like, book tour stops for the Sundown Motel, which I'll be reading next week. None of them are in the area. I'm like, really? Like, I gotta keep watch of that in case she ever gets anywhere near me. I mean, I think she lives in Toronto, so if she did a book signing somewhere in the city, you know I'm going, absolutely going, and grabbing a copy of probably The Broken Girls or something like that to get her to sign, because that would be super awesome. But anyway, that was a side note. So then Sonia Lily, that I read The Matchmaker's List last week, she is also Canadian from out west, but her book took place in Toronto, and now Jenny Holiday lives in London, Ontario, which is about a 2-hour drive west of where I live. And this story, Mermaid Inn, this series, it's called the Matchmaker Bay series. It takes place on the shores of Lake Huron, which is probably about an hour north of where the author actually lives, in a fictional town called, I'm pretty sure it's a fictional town. And it's delightful. It is a second chance romance. It is about our main character, Eve, and Jake. Sorry, I was drawing a blank on his name. And the two of them dated in high school, and then for reasons we haven't found out yet, he actually kind of forced the breakup between the two of them. She only would spend her summers in this town. She was born and raised in Toronto, and she would spend her summers in this town and with her great aunt at her aunt's inn called the Mermaid Inn, which is where the book gets its title from, of course. And so he kind of forces this breakup. We don't know why yet. And now she's back in town because her great aunt has passed away and has left her the inn. So it's a second chance romance. She's trying to fix up the inn, but it's really delightful. And I'm getting such a kick out of listening to it on audio because the narrator, I'm sure they found somebody who is Canadian. Now, it's stereotypical Canadian speak. Those of you who are watching me right now are like, you totally sound like this. Of course, those of us who have accents, we don't hear the accent. I don't hear it. But I spent 6 years working for a company where I dealt exclusively with Americans who knew right away from talking to me that I was in Canada. I know I say a. I know that. I've said it. I say it all the time. I catch myself doing it too. But the narrator, you can clearly hear the about instead of about. And do I really say that? Like, I'm asking legitimately. All of you in the comments are going to be like, yes, you absolutely do. But I don't hear myself say it. But I'm clearly hearing the narrator say it, which is hysterical. So, yeah, I really, really like it. And unlike the Matchmaker's List, it's not being thrown in your face that it's Canadian. Like, certain things are being, one instance happened, and Jake, who's the chief of police, he's like, welcome to small town Ontario. And, of course, Eve mentions the fact that she's from Toronto. And Jake's younger sister says she wants to go to the U of T, or the University of Toronto. You know, so there's little things thrown in that would be interesting casual conversation that someone would mention. You know, the police have been called, the OPP, the Ontario Provincial Police have been called, you know, blah, 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 for whatever reason. You know, stuff like that. It's just stuff that would come up in conversation. It's not like it was with the Matchmaker's List where she was constantly dropping on Toronto references. So, yeah. But it's really delightful so far, and I should get that one done in the next few days. I've gotten a little bit more read of the Nancy Drew book, and I'm enjoying that one. And I'm about halfway through, I think, at this point. Bear with. Let me see here. I am about a little over 100 pages or so through The Right Twin by Laura Marie Altum, and I'm enjoying this one as well. I'll talk more about this one when I get it done. Not a lot to report because I'm only reading like a chapter a day. But anyway, that's all I have to share with you guys. Oh no, wait, I've got my item that I purchased. So, I mentioned yesterday that Garrett and I went to bingo with my mom, and we won a little bit of money. So Garrett bought some stuff on Amazon, and I looked at, so I did a whole video, like a year ago, about the fact that I hated this device, and this was one of the worst purchases that I'd made, was a Kindle Fire. But I've been reading a lot of reviews, and they have redone the Kindle Fire. This is the all-new one for 2019. And I decided, because it was on sale, it was like less than $60, that I would treat myself, because I love my Kindle. My little, just a Kindle. It's not even a Paperwhite, it's just a Kindle. And I love it. I love reading from it because it's so light and so easy to hold. But the issue is that it's just an e-reader. There's no functionality on it to be able to read stuff from the Libby app, like your Overdrive app. Or, you know, if I'm reading something from Scribd or whatever, I have to switch to my bigger, more expensive, and heavier Samsung tablet. And I don't like taking that anywhere with me because, as I just said, it's big, it's expensive, and it's heavy. And I don't want to just throw that into my purse. Like, you know, my purse, I don't know about you guys who carry a purse. I tend to drop it. Like, when I get into the office, I kind of just drop it on the floor. You know, I don't want a $500 tablet in there getting smashed. A $60 Kindle Fire, I don't care so much about because it was $60. Not that I'm saying I would just throw away $60. You know, if it's going to be, you know, I'm going to be a little bit more careful, but I think you guys know what I mean. So I wanted the functionality of just having an e-reader with also having the functionality of being able to seamlessly go between Overdrive to the Kindle and blah, 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 blah. So I treated myself and I got a new Kindle Fire. So I will let you guys know. Third time's a charm. The first two of these that I've owned completely crapped out on me within 3 months. And from what I'm hearing from my friends, it's touch and go. All of my other friends are like, theirs have been great. They've had it for years and years and years and never had a problem with it. And then I hear from other people, it's like, yeah, mine crapped out in like 3 or 4 months. So we shall see. I was looking at the reviews again on Amazon, and a lot of people were saying it's better. So we shall see. The issue that I had with the last one is that it wouldn't take a charge anymore. But I also noticed that they're no longer offering protection plan on it. So we shall see. If this goes in like less than a year, you know gosh darn well I am contacting Amazon to either replace it or get my money back, because, and then I will never buy another one again. I can tell you that. I will just go and buy a cheap tablet that I can use stuff on. But I mean, for $60, oh, there's me in the camera. Hi, me. But yeah, so I'm going to get this all charged up and get everything on it and get it all cleaned up. There will be no other apps on this. I am not putting email on this, or I'm disabling email. I am not putting Facebook on it. I'm not putting Instagram on it. All that is going to be on here is specifically for reading and reading only. I don't even think I'm going to put Goodreads on it, because I literally just want it for reading. And that's the other thing that I love about the Kindle that I have, is that you cannot do anything else with it. And it's just specifically for reading. And I love that. So anyway, I'm off to get this set up. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Happy Wednesday. It is about 8:30 at night. And I am tired. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. And I'm pretty much ready for bed. But it's a little bit too early to be going to bed. Besides, I have some more reading I want to do tonight. So I think after I'm done filming this, I've been watching some BookTube for the last hour and a half or so. I think once I'm done filming this, excuse me, I'm going to make a bowl of popcorn because I'm feeling schnackerish. And I am going to read some of my book. So let me talk about what I have been reading today. And then I do have some mail to show with you guys. Sorry, it's bright and shiny. This is my Sweet Kawaii Designs order. That's what it is, right? There's only a few things that I've got coming in the mail to me. This and something else. That is an early birthday present that I definitely will show you guys once I get it. It's not book related, but it's just super fun. It was a present from Garrett. So anyway, so yeah, this is my Sweet Kawaii Designs order for my reading journal. So I want to show that to you guys, because I know the last time I did, a lot of you really wanted to see it. And I will leave a link, of course, to Sweet Kawaii Designs in the description box below. They're where I get all my stickers for my reading journal. They're not reading journal specific. They are actually planner specific. Like, they're meant for a planner, but I make them work. So, reading wise today, I got a little bit more read. I'm about 60% of the way through Mermaid Inn by Jenny Holiday. I do not have much to add on this from yesterday talking about it. I'm still really enjoying it, and I've got about 3 hours left on it, and I should definitely get it done tomorrow. So yeah, I will get Mermaid Inn finished tomorrow. So originally my plan was, because I had finished Hometown Cowboy yesterday by Sarah Richardson, that today I was going to be starting Sisters by Choice by Susan Mallory. Well, this morning I woke up and I got thinking, and I'm like, what happened to the month of February? Like, where did it go? I saw this meme on Facebook and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so true. January creeped by so slowly, and now February is speeding by like at 75 miles per hour. It's crazy. And I'm like, there are 11 days left, including today, in February. I'm like, I do not have time to read all the books that I want to read unless I suddenly win the lottery and can quit my job. Because one of the NetGalley books that I have to read, the anthology, the A Cowboy for All Seasons anthology, which I started reading today, is just shy of 600 pages, you guys. So that's a bigger commitment. So I looked on Scribe this morning, and they have, because Sisters by Choice actually came out on the 11th of February, it's available on Scribe on audiobook. So I'm actually going to end up listening to that one on audio, because I have time to listen to audio, but my reading time, like my physical reading time, is lessened a bit. So I am excited about that. I will be doing that. But like I said, right now I did start A Cowboy for All Seasons by, hold on, let me see here. Let me bring this up. I know it's Maisie Yates, Nicole Helm, Caitlin Cruz, and who is the last author? Oops, where am I going here? Cover. And Jackie Ashenden. That's the only author I am not familiar with, but the rest of them all I have read. So yeah, this one, the anthology itself is a super cute premise. I don't know if I've talked about it already. I think I did very briefly, so I won't make this very long. But essentially what the premise of this book is that it's an anthology that is connected, meaning you know, all the stories are interconnected to each other. And, sorry, bear with. I have to fix this right now or else I'm not going to do it later. I just want to get back to the page that I was on. So, and I was distracted. I'm like, I need to fix this before I get on to the next thing. So anyway, all 4 stories are connected to each other. They are featuring 4 cousins. I think it's 4 cousins because it just said the first story is by Caitlin Cruz and it's literally called Spring. So then the next story will be called Summer, and then Autumn, and then Winter. So it follows the 4 seasons. And it's the actual seasons, not the singing group. So anyway, each of the authors writes a different one of the stories. And like I said, they're all interconnected. So the grandmother has just passed away of these 4 cousins. Or like I was saying, I'm not sure if it's 4 cousins or 3 cousins and a sister. Like, you know what I mean? Like 2 sisters and then 2 cousins or something. Because in the story by Caitlin Cruz, which is the first one, the Spring book, it mentions that there were 3 sisters that had children. So again, I don't know if 2 of these characters are sisters. I will find that out as I go. But so the grandmother has passed away, and in her will, she is stipulating that each one of the cousins, I'll just say cousins for sake of argument, each one of the cousins has to spend a different season at this the ranch that the grandmother ran, you know, at the ranch house. So the first story is, I think her name is Kira, and his name is Remy, and this is a second chance romance. They were together in high school, or, you know, a little bit beyond that, and they were going to get married, and then she broke up with him so she could go to university or college or whatever, kind of better herself. Her mother and father they almost sound like con artists, in a way, that they're always looking for their next get-rich-quick scheme kind of an idea. So, yeah, I'm only maybe 4% of the way through the entire book. Like I said, it's about 600 pages long. But I'll update you guys as I go. This one's going to take me a number of days to finish. But after this, I only have left The Cottage on the Beach by Lee Tobin McCain to read for this month. So, I think that's all I've got for ebook-wise. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. No, I have The Sundown Motel to read too by Simone St. James, which I'm totally excited about. But the other ones, like, they're contemporary romance. I should fly through them relatively quickly, along with the thriller. I should be able to read pretty quickly, so I'm very excited about all of those. So yeah, so that will be that's next week plans. But anyway, yes, I'm really enjoying this one. And that's about all the reading that I've gotten done today. The Australia book has actually been put on the back burner, and I've been debating about DNFing it. Just because I've read 6 stories in it so far, and only one of them I've liked. That's a 20% ratio, and I don't think that's worth going through an almost 900-page book. Now, that's the problem with anthologies. As much as I love them, that's the problem. Especially when you get these ones that are like, and I think it's for a great cause. And, you know, I did buy the book. I'm not going to return it. The money went to a good cause as far as I'm concerned, but I really do think I'm going to DNF it because it's just kind of sitting there on my Goodreads page and I haven't picked it up in days, mainly because I've had no interest. So maybe what I'll do is, the other thing is that to me it seems almost more summery, like something that I would read in the summertime. Does that make sense? So what I might do is not DNF it, but put it on hold right now and go back to it in the summer, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You know, like, I just don't want it sitting on my Goodreads page forever. What do you guys think? Like, what would you do? You know, maybe I'll give it till the end of the week. Maybe I'll try another story tonight and, you know, maybe another one, you know, the next few days and see what happens. And if I'm still not thoroughly enjoying it, then I'll DNF it. That'll be fair, I think. But the thing is that I think to myself, I'm like, well, what stories am I going to miss? What if there's some good ones in there? Do you know what I mean? And not everything is for everybody. I'm sure there are a lot of people who would love a lot of the stories in this. But I am just not into a lot of the adult content. I don't mind if it's there. It doesn't bother me. But when it's almost the premise of every story, I'm kind of not interested. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I do want to read another couple chapters of The Right Twin tonight by Laura Marie Altham. I have a goal to finish that by Saturday. And I do want to read another couple chapters of Nancy's Mysterious Letter by, of course, Carolyn Keene. Again, I want to finish that one by Saturday. So that is all I have reading-wise. So let's open this package. my package that came in the mail. I just love getting mail, right? As long as it's not a bill. Nobody likes getting bills. So let's see. It's very sticky. The tape or whatever on these. I love these envelopes that she gets. Like, I just think they're super, super awesome. And then the interior. So that's the exterior. And there's the interior. Isn't that so cute? Look at this sticker. Oh, thank you for supporting our small business. And then it's the husband and wife's names. Is it husband and wife's name? Yeah. Adorable. With their, and I'm pretty sure these are their dogs. So, so cute. I follow her on Instagram and everything. They're just an absolute delight. So, it was the April stickers. I thought for a minute, I'm like, is it the March stickers? But I'm like, no, I've already gotten March. So this weekend, I'll actually be putting together my March reading journal. So that'll be a lot of fun. So, like I did the last time, I'm going to open these to show them to you guys because I think you really need to see them. So, for those of you who are new, again, these are from Sweet Kawaii Designs. These are for my reading journal. I'm sorry I did not get a video film this month for my reading journal. I started to get back on track this week. A video went up this morning, and I'm hoping to get another one up on Friday morning. And then I'll be back to my regularly scheduled program next week with my normal videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I don't think I'm going to get my reading journal walkthrough filmed for the month of February, but I will definitely be back on track for March. So anyway, I have a sort of just a blank, undated journal that I use for my reading. And essentially what it is that I love stickers. I love decorating with stickers. And I have it decorated up every month. And every day I write in what book I read and how many pages I read. And that's kind of what the reading journal is for. Then at the back, I keep a list of all the books that I finish in any particular month along with their star rating. So that's pretty much what I do. But like I said, I will do a walkthrough in March so you guys can check it out. So as usual, the first thing is the monthly date sticker. Super cute. I love the frog. He's so cute. So I'm going to do my best to try and get this to focus, but we shall see. And then you get this like little extra thing that tells you what pens to use if you're writing on the stickers, and you get some extra stickers there. And again, the little frog, he's so adorable. You get these wacky holidays every month. I love using these. I think they're just so stinking adorable. So there's literally one for every day of the month. April Fool's Day is, of course, on the 1st of April. Let me see if I find anything good here. Deep Dish Pizza Day is April 5th. Farm Animals Day, April 10th. Unicorn Day, you guys, April 9th. We need to celebrate Unicorn Day. Gardening Day is April 14th. Taxes Day, April 15th. That's a US thing, I think. Because I think in Canada we have until the end of April. I hope so. But I plan on doing my taxes soon. So anyway. Superhero Day, April 28th. So yeah, so you get that. And then you get this set of stickers, which you could use for pretty much anything. But that's the color scheme, essentially, for this kit this month. Let me just turn those over. And then you get, whoops, like I said, this is meant for a planner. This is not meant for a reading journal. So if you guys have planners, keep that in mind. And this is also the vertical. You can get horizontal. You can get a mini. She has all different options. So you get this with like your little check boxes and stuff like that. And then some of these big boxes like Hello April. It says April Showers. Really, really cute. Some bill pay little things there if you were using this again for an actual planner. Checklists. That's what a lot of people use these for, checklists. These to write things in, super cute, really, really nice. And then, all right, spring, do your thing. These are so cute. Create your own sunshine, that's adorable. April Showers, bring May flowers. And then, you know, you can write on these or just use them for decoration or what have you. Again, I try and use as many of these stickers as I possibly can. These are typically the ones that don't get used, are a lot of these like washing day or like to do your laundry or payday, you know, like grocery shopping day. I don't tend to use those. I haven't been able to find a journal that I really like to actually, and I'm not one to journal per se. So yeah, those really don't get used that often, but you know, these are kind of the stickers I don't use as much. But you know, if you're doing a planner, Absolutely. If I'll use the birthday cake ones if it's somebody's birthday that month. And then this one says Happy Friday. I just love that. And then you have some bigger boxes along with these weekend banners. She does these banners, which I think are super adorable. Some more things to write in, and some more little cute little sayings and stuff. Plant dreams, pull weeds, and crow a happy face. Or crow a happy life. Grow a happy life. I can read. I'm not wearing my glasses. Sorry, guys. It says slow down with the snail. That's adorable. Let your dreams blossom. Very, very cute. And then these are the date covers. So you have all the days of the week, and then you have these to cover up the actual, like, in your planner if you had like a certain date. And I do use these. I really like them. These are the washi tape. You get 2 sets of them. So these can go at like the top or the bottom or wherever the heck you want to put them. But they're super, super cute with the frog and the bee and the, as my friends in the UK would call them wellies. I love the term wellies. We would say rain boots here in North America, I think, or galoshes. But I just love the term wellies. They're so cute. So yes, you get those. And then the last thing is, this started last month. She used to give you a postcard with an image on it, but now you get a giant sticker, and I still don't know what I want to do with these because they're just so cute. But it says, why though? I just think that's adorable. Super, super cute. So that's the one set. Now I do get the monthly kit. So I actually get, you get with the kit, because I order it and the money comes out of the account at the end, the first of every month. And then the kit gets mailed by the 5th of the month. But because I'm in Canada, it does take longer for stuff to get to me. And with if you order the subscription and you get the subscription every month the way that I do, you get this giant sticker. You would not get it if you just bought the kit on its own on the website. And you get free shipping worldwide. That is huge. So that's why I subscribe, is to essentially get the free shipping, because shipping is ridiculously expensive to Canada. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I went to go buy something on Amazon. Not on Amazon. On Etsy the other day. It was a bracelet, you guys. A bracelet. It probably weighed nothing. Like, it's a bracelet. Like, it's not, like, even my Fitbit doesn't weigh that much. And they wanted $20 to ship to Canada. I'm like, no. Not every seller is like that, but a lot of them do charge a lot. So anyway, the other part that I get here is the monthly overview, is what they call it. So these are super cute. So you get your stickers, April, and then the bottom banner, and then this neat little check mark thingy, and then the days of the week if you wanted to cover that up or something. Really cute. And then you get another little kind of cover idea here. And then again, these are more stickers that I wouldn't necessarily use that for appointments. If you're traveling, somebody's birthday, maybe an anniversary, going on a car trip, I don't know. Stuff like that, your paydays. And then again, you get these little date covers, these tiny, tiny ones. These are the ones that I use these in my journal to mark, like when I finished a book, I'll be like, oh, that's the first book I finished this month. That's the second book I finished this month. And then so I put the sticker down and then I write the book beside it along with the star rating. And you also, again, get the Wacky Holidays. Again, they're the same as the other ones. And then some more of these bigger check boxes, or bigger boxes to write stuff in. So yeah, so I absolutely love these. I think they're adorable, and I love showing them to you guys. But like I said, in March, I will definitely do a walkthrough of my journal. Or maybe even what I'll do is I plan on kind of sitting down maybe on Saturday or Sunday and putting together my journal for March. So maybe I'll show you guys a little bit of that when I do it. But anyway, that is all that I have for today. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. It is what day is it today? The 21st of February. And it is about 9:45 at night. I have to leave in about an hour. No, less than that. In about 45 minutes to go pick up my hubby at the subway station. He finishes work in about 15 minutes, but it's a good 45-minute subway ride for him. For those of you in Toronto, he goes from Kipling to Kennedy, which is pretty much the entire subway run. Like, I think it's like from start to finish. But he doesn't generally mind because he's a reader. Not as much as I read, but he is a reader. He reads every day. And he reads off of his phone, on his Kindle app on his phone. So he just has another book and he just sits and reads and he's quite happy with the trip. I would love to do that too. If I could, you know, have a commute that I didn't have to drive would be great. But it would take me a lot longer to get to work. I mean, it takes him, like I just said, it's an hour on the subway. When if I was to drive it, now not in traffic, but if I was to drive it, it would probably be about a half an hour ride. So it's about double the amount of time, really. But anyway, that's besides the point. I do listen to audiobooks in the car, so it is reading. I am reading during my commute to and from the office. So, speaking of reading, let's jump into that, shall we? I am sorry, I did not get a clip out yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday, and it was also, would have been my grandmother's 95th birthday, I think, because she would have been 92 the year that she died, I think. I can't remember what year she was born. Isn't that horrible? But yeah, so it would have been her birthday yesterday. So my aunt mentioned that to me today when I talked to her. She's like, it was Grandma's birthday yesterday. I'm like, oh yeah, because my niece's birthday is next Thursday, and my birthday is the following Thursday, because this year, every year, or every leap year, well, since Caitlin was born, since my niece was born, so really only 2 leap years we've done this. She'll be 10. Maybe 3, I don't know. Anyway, my grandmother's birthday was on the 20th of February. My niece's birthday is the 27th of February, and mine is the 5th of March. So this is, leap years are the only years where we were exactly a week apart from each other in birthdays. We were the 3 of us always celebrated together. But anyway, sorry, I'm totally getting off topic. So yeah, so I missed yesterday. I was tired. I kind of, even though I finished a book yesterday, I didn't think about sitting down to talk to you guys, and I'm sorry about that, but yeah, it is what it is. So we're here today to talk about reading, because like I said, I finished a book yesterday, so I will talk about that, and it was Mermaid Inn by Jenny Holiday, the first book in the Matchmaker Bay series. Super cute. I've talked about this one already. It takes place in southwestern Ontario, so about 3 hours from Toronto, on the shores of Lake Huron. If you look at a map and you find London, Ontario, go north to the lake. That's pretty much the area where this book takes place. I have never been there myself. I have a friend who lives in London, Ontario, and it's a beautiful area. Like, if you drive that way, and I've driven that way as well to go to Chicago. When I was there 2 summers ago or 3 summers ago, when I went to Stitches Midwest, which was a knitting festival that's in Chicago every year. So I went with 2 friends of mine, and we drove across the border into Detroit, essentially. So we went that way, and it's really neat. There are sections, I think it's past London, that it's like a windmill farm. And it's like you're driving, and it's like just these huge, huge windmills, like as far as the eye can see in this countryside. It is amazing. If you guys have never seen it, it's very, very cool. It's in Upper New York State as well, but the one that we have up here is in that area. So anyway, so that's where the story took place. And I liked it. It was very entertaining, but I actually ended up only giving it about 3.5 stars. My issue with it, my biggest issue with the book, sorry, cat treat on the couch, was the main character, Evie. There was just something about her that kind of bugged me. I don't know how to explain it or how to talk about it. It's weird. It's just some of the things that she did really kind of annoyed me in a way. You know, and the relationship between her and Sawyer, though, I think I said his name was Jake or Jack in another clip. That's his buddy's name, actually. It's not his name. His name was Sawyer. And, you know, like, she was, like, blaming him, and in a way she was blaming everybody else for decisions that she made that actually made her life better. And, you know, thinks that yes, they were teenagers when they broke up, and it was for a silly reason, but that whole reason is why she never ended up coming back to town. To me, it was silly. You know, like, let's be realistic. You know, a relationship you have at the age of 17, are you really going to let that define the rest of your life if you end up breaking up at 17? You shouldn't. Some people do, you know, and I can't speak on that, but I just found it a very flimsy excuse. Because her and Sawyer had been friends since they were kids. And it wasn't until that they got to be 16, 17 that they ended up becoming a couple. And then something happens, and he kisses another girl. And there's a whole reason why he did it and why he pushed Evie away. But as far as she knew, he kissed somebody else. He cheated on her. I get all that. But the fact that she never came back to town to see her great aunt, she would only come back at the holidays. And she would just or have her aunt come to see her in Toronto. It just didn't make any sense to me why you were going to let that define your life. Now, again, I get that it's a small town and the chances are you're going to run into him, but be an adult. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I didn't love it, but I did enjoy it. It was entertaining. I really, really loved the small town. I love the small town so, so much. And all the other characters that you meet in this story. So there are going to be more books featuring all these other characters. And there are a great group of older people who hang out in the local hardware store and try and match everybody. It's adorable. That part of it's absolutely delightful. So I'm not putting the whole series aside based on a single character because that's just their story. I'm looking forward to getting to more stories in this series. So yeah. So since I finished that one, that was on audio, I have started listening to An Incantation of Cats by Clara Simon, I think is the author, or the author's name. And this one's okay. I had forgotten about this series. This is the second book in I think it's the Witch Cats of Cambridge series. And I read the first book last year, I think. And I didn't particularly love it. I think I only gave it 3 stars. This is a cozy mystery. And I knew that I had read the first book, but I should have looked at my rating on Goodreads. But I did. This one is a NetGalley read. So was Mermaid Bay. So thank you to the publisher and NetGalley for an e-art copy of that one, even though I did listen to it on audio. Same with An Incantation of Cats. Again, thank you to the publisher and NetGalley. But again, I did snag a copy on audio. And I should have looked at my rating on Goodreads before I requested this one. Because I realized very, very quickly what my issue was with the first book. They're entertaining. It's a fun, cozy mystery premise. It's about a woman who's finding out she's a witch, and she's got these 3 cats, and the cats are sisters. They're sisters from different litters or something like that. But anyway, the story is told from the perspective of the cats. And as a cat person, that should be right up my alley. But it's not, because I just don't like the way it's written. It's extremely confusing. Not only do you need to keep track of all the humans in the story, but you need to keep track of the cats in the story, the 3 of them, and what cat is what breed or type, because you guys know, cats can share the same mother, but they could potentially have different, even from the same litter, there could be different fathers from the same litter. Let's be realistic. If your cat's an outdoor cat, those are the kind of things that might happen. But, so one's part calico, one's part Siamese, and it's and the cats also have human names, which I am all for. All of my cats have always had human names. I have a Goran and a Bernard. I had a Nicholas. I had a Logan. I kind of like giving that human name to an animal instead of calling them Fluffy or, whatever. But I mean, if you named your cat Fluffy, awesome. I knew a woman who I used to work with. Over the course of her lifetime, she's had 5 cats. They end up passing away, and a little while later, she gets another cat. All of her cats have been named Fluffy. Every single one. But again, side note. So anyway, the thing is that gets confusing is as you're listening to it, they're giving me the cast names are Clara and I want to say Lucinda or something like that. So then coupled with all the humans that are being discussed, you're kind of okay, is this a cat they're talking about? And because it's told from the cat's perspective, it's in third person, but it's from the cat's perspective, if that makes sense. And also, when one cat is thinking about another cat, it'd be oh, the Siamese turned her face. I'm okay, which one is the Siamese? It's very confusing the way it's written. It could have been done so much better. Because, again, I really like the premise. It takes place in New England. I think it's in Massachusetts. It's Cambridge in Massachusetts. But yeah, it's just confusing, and I don't see myself giving it a very high star rating. I think it's going to get 3 stars, probably same as the first book in the series, and I don't think I'll continue on after this one. Now that I've realized, I'll make sure to look. If the third one comes up on NetGalley, I will not request it, no matter how adorably cute the cover is, and the fact that it involves cats. But yeah, I don't see it getting much more than a 3-star rating from me. I am almost done the Nancy Drew book. I have 4 more chapters left. I'm going to read 2 tonight and 2 tomorrow night. I'll have that one done tomorrow. And The Right Twin by Laura Marie Altum, I'll have that done tomorrow as well. I have another 4 chapters left on that one. But the other book that I have started, no, I had already started the last time I talked to you guys on Wednesday, is A Cowboy for All Seasons by Maisie Yates. Oh, can I do this off the top of my head? Caitlin Crew, Maisie Yates, Nicole Helm, and Jen Asherden, I think is the last author, the one that I'm not familiar with. I'm still only on the first story, the one written by Caitlin Cruz. I'm almost done it. I'm about a quarter of the way through the book. It is an almost 600-page book, but I got some reading done on Wednesday, and then yesterday I got some reading done at lunch, but I didn't read anything at all last night because I just was so tired I could hardly keep my eyes open. And then today I've gotten a little bit of reading done, but not a lot. So I'm going to catch up on the weekend. That is my game plan. But yeah, so that's about all that I have for you guys reading-wise. I'm trying to think if there's nothing else that I'm reading. But the one thing I haven't done this week is I haven't opened my minis. I realized that the other day. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I have a blanket that I'm knitting on that I'm going to show you tomorrow. I promise. It's been weeks since I've shown you guys the blankets, and I've been putting squares into it. So essentially, it is a blanket knit out of sock yarn. So very thin, or sock yarn. I don't know how else to describe it. It's sock yarn. Yarn that you would use to knit socks. And it is, I call it the scrap yarn blanket, or the sock yarn blanket of insanity, because at the end of the day, I'm going to have 1,600 2x2 inch squares in this blanket. It's going to be big enough to fit a king size bed, excuse me. We don't have a king size bed. I hope to have one eventually, so I'm thinking maybe by the time the blanket will be done, I'll get the bed. But what's been going on, I've been knitting on this thing for like 4 years, and I'm almost 400 squares into it. So, I mean, a good chunk, but not as much as I need. So, when I first started knitting it, I was gung-ho, was knitting squares into it all the time. And then over the last few years, that's kind of died down. And every year at Christmas, from December 1st to December, usually 25th or the 31st, my goal is to put a square in every single day. Well, what's been happening over the last few years is that I've only been putting squares into it in December. I'm never going to get the blanket done at that rate. So, what I decided to do is put these little packets together with minis inside of yarn to add little squares in. And on the outside, it has the name of a book on my TBR from this month. So every time I finish a book on my TBR, I open one of these and add the square to my blanket. So that's been kind of my game plan. I've added about 10-ish, because not all the books that I read do I add a square for. That was my original plan, and I thought, no. Let's just use the ones on my TBR. And I haven't been reading all the books on my TBR. Like, I give you guys a TBR every month, but it's subject to change, as I like to say. So anyway, let me go ahead and open up these ones. So the first one that I have to open is The Long Shot. And this was by Ellen Hartman. I really enjoyed this book. It was super good. And I had 2 more last week that I did not open on camera, and I am so sorry about that. So, ooh. Wow, that's pretty. The last one I had of this that I just put in was black. I hate knitting with black yarn. I'm sorry, it is so difficult to see, especially when it's this thin. But yeah, that's gonna be really pretty. Very nice. That one will go in first. And then the next book that I finished was Hometown Cowboy by the great Sarah Richardson. Loved that book so much. I already talked about that one this week. So let me... These packets don't want to open. Oh, I'm getting all the darker colors, I think, you guys. Oh, look at that one. Oh, that's pretty. I mean, I like a good solid or semi-solid color, but something about a variegated just makes my heart happy. And last but not least, Mermaid Inn, of course. Now, these colors have nothing to do with the book. I just randomly put them in envelopes and write book titles on them. So it's not like, you know, the yarn matches the book or anything like that. That's not what I was going for. That was just far too complicated, and I didn't want to get into that. So Mermaid Inn, of course, that I just finished yesterday. So let's see, ooh, this one, ooh, I know what this one is. So this yarn is from No Makers. She no longer dyes yarn, which makes me sad because her yarn was so gorgeous. So this was part of a set. Now I have a full skein of this yarn. Looking at this now, I really want to dig it out and knit on it. That might be a really pretty spring pair of socks. But this is called Strawberries. So you've got the pink, and then you guys can see the little bits of tweed in there that are meant to be the little like black seeds on a strawberry. And then the full-size skein that I have of this came with a brown, and it was called strawberries or chocolate covered strawberries, and it was a set. So essentially you would do your heels and toes and cuffs in the brown, and then the rest of the sock in this color. So I think that might have to be my next pair of socks, because I actually just looked at it in my bin of sock yarn, or my bin of yarn the other day. And yeah, I really think I need those socks now. I was really saving it until I was a much better sock knitter, but like that's pretty much all I do now is knit socks. So I don't know what I'm waiting for. I just have to knit it. So there will be my third yarn to go into the blanket. But yeah, so that's it for today, you guys. Yeah, I want to open those so I could work on them tomorrow while I am editing some of this vlog. But tomorrow I will be back with my last clip to share with you guys my final thoughts on 2 of the books and update you guys on whatever else I'm reading, and of course show you my knitting, which I didn't do last week. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hi guys, technically it's Sunday. It is 12:09 a.m. on Sunday morning. We're gonna say it's Saturday. So my last clip for this vlog, and before I start a new vlog tomorrow, as I usually like to end these, I'm going to talk about the books that I read the reading I did today, essentially. Sorry, I'm tired right now. And I was about to go to bed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to film a clip. So I wanted to do this now before it got till sometime later tomorrow, and then I don't get the vlog up till like later. So anyway, yeah, I want to talk about the books, what I read today. I did finish 2 books today as predicted. And then I wanted to share my knitting with you guys. And I did want to do a little discussion about my Kindle Fire, because I've been using it since Tuesday, and my thoughts on it, essentially. So, reading update. I got a little bit more read in the audiobook I'm listening to, which is An Incantation of Cats by Clara Simon. Still not absolutely loving it. I talked about it yesterday. Still the same issues. It's getting a little bit better. We had a few scenes where it was like the humans were all talking and stuff like that. The one thing that I'm finding, though, that I'm finding quite funny is that the author seems to be a bit biased in a way to witchcraft. Now, our female lead, Becca, like the protagonist in the story, she is a practicing Wiccan. But the cats, and, you know, like, I don't know whether the author herself is biased, so I do apologize for saying that. But the cats are like, oh, there's no real magic, and, you know, doesn't she know what she's doing isn't real, and, you know, only cats have magic, kind of an idea. And I thought that's just kind of an odd stance to take if you were going to make your lead female character be a Wiccan, which is a viable religious belief. And, you know, it would be like writing a Christian character and having, you know, other characters go, well, isn't she silly? Don't they know that Jesus wasn't real? Or do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to discuss the merits of whether magic is real or not, but to the fact that you're taking someone's religious belief and downplaying it, and I'm having a big issue with that. You know, because not that magic is you don't have to practice magic at all to be Wiccan or pagan or a witch or any of those things. Actually, I think it's too much of a gray area. Again, I'm not going to get into this entire discussion. As I've mentioned before, I've done a lot of reading on this subject of neo-paganism and things like that. But it is part of the practice in a way. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to do that part of it. But a lot of people do choose to do that. And it wasn't sitting well with me. It's not sitting well with me. I am about halfway through the book. I've only got a couple more hours left on it. It's a relatively short audiobook. I think it comes in at 300 pages for the actual book itself. So I will finish it because I figured I'm already this far into it. I'm already 2 days into it. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. I've been drinking my tea. Mom and I, sorry, the hiccups. Mom and I went to the mall, and at David's Tea in the stores, you can actually get cold or hot tea to go. They will make you whatever you want, like whatever they have on the shelf, they will make it for you. They have daily teas as well, so you can just try like the tea of the day kind of an idea. But I finished the one that I had gotten, which was Caribbean Crush, and then I went into the cupboard. I reused the plastic container, because why the heck not? And I made flamingo something or other. It's a fruity white tea. And all I did was I brewed the tea in, sorry, this is a complete side note. I brewed the tea in, as I normally would, in a mug. And then I filled this completely with ice, like right to the top. And then once the tea was steeped, I just poured the boiling tea, essentially like the hot tea, into this. And now it's cold because of all the ice. And it's perfect. I love it. So very, very enjoyable. So I think I'm going to keep this for a little while, as long as I can continue to use it. I do have a Starbucks cup that's nice and big that I could use that for as well if I wanted to. Like a full-on plastic Starbucks. It looks like the cold, like it's a venti size, like it's the big one. But anyway, so I've been doing a lot of drinking of water today, which is probably why I have the hiccups. So yeah, so I'm not absolutely loving it, but I'm, like I said, 2 days in, I'm going to get it done. I got no reading done in A Cowboy for All Seasons. Today, I think I read a couple pages while I was at bingo today before the session started. But other than that, I've been doing kind of other things. So I didn't get that listened or read very much. I have not read, again, any of the Australia book. I am still waffling back and forth on whether or not I want to DNF it. This part of me kind of just wants to get it off of my currently reading, because I hate having things just sitting on my currently reading that I'm not actually reading. But what I'm going to do is, the decision I made is I want to see if I can get at least 10% of the way through it next week. If by this time next week, I think right now I'm at 17%. If I'm not at 25% by next Saturday, I'm going to DNF it. That's, and it doesn't sound like much. That's like what, 5, 6, 7, 8% to get through. But it's an almost 900-page book. It's an anthology. So with like 31 stories or something in it. So let's see where I am next Saturday, and we'll make a decision then. But anyway, I want to give it a chance. I want to see if I can hit some more stories that seem to be a bit better than some of the ones that I've read. So the 2 books that I finished today. I did finish reading. Where is it? It's right here. I finished reading The Right Twin by Laura Marie Altum. I've been talking about this one all week. I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. It was super, super cute, and it was really exciting today that on my Instagram, the author herself posted on my Instagram picture that I did up of this book. I'm having a little bit of fun now with my Instagram pictures, because for those of you who are on Bookstagram, you'll notice those pictures are gorgeous. And I mean, it's a huge deal. They stage them, they this, they that, you know, and I mean, they're beautiful. I'm not discounting them. But my thing is that I don't have that kind of space or time to be doing things like that. Not time, but I don't have like props are the words I'm looking for, you know, to be taking these gorgeous, gorgeous photos by some of these people. What I do have, and what I love doing, is I have years and years and years worth of digital scrapbooking supplies that I used to digital scrapbook years ago, and I loved it. And I still, now I'm buying the kits again, because I think they're gorgeous. And I use PicMonkey, which is what I use to do all of my like thumbnails and things like that I do. There is a cost involved to PicMonkey. It's a monthly charge, but in my opinion, it's absolutely worth it. So what I've been doing, for those of you who follow me on Instagram or are kind of wondering, and if you don't, my Instagram link will be in the description box below, is that I'm digitally scrapbooking my photos now. So I'll take like a digital image of this, and then I made it into a scrapbook page as if this was the photo, if that makes sense. So that's what I've been doing, and I know it's different. I know, you know, like it's not something that you're seeing on Bookstagram, but I think it's kind of unique to me, and it's fun, and it's still getting to showcase the books and still having a bit of fun with them and still making them aesthetically pleasing, even more so, if that makes sense. So yeah, so that was just a side note, but I did this one last week, and the another author, Tina Radcliffe, she, I guess, is friends with Laura Marie Altum, and she tagged her. I didn't realize that Laura Marie Altum had an Instagram. I now follow her on Instagram. Her son is an actor. Not a bad-looking young man, let me, and I don't mean young. I mean, he's probably in his 20s. Easy on the eyes. Anyway, that's a complete side note. But I highly suggest you go and check it out. Or go check him out, I should say. But anyway, yeah, so back to the book. I did really enjoy this. I thought it was really, really cute, really, really sweet. 3.5-star rating on this one. Probably even closer to a 4-star. You know, it's a whole... It's a major trope in romance novels where, you know, nobody's telling the whole truth, and if they just talk to each other, everybody would, you know, everything would have been out in the open. But both of them are kind of lying to each other for good reasons, to help both of their individual siblings. So, you know, it's not like they chose to do it. They were doing it, you know, for family, and they didn't think anybody was going to get hurt. That's the thing with lying. And I mean, I'm not justifying that you should lie, but, you know, sometimes you tell untruths to people to either spare their feelings or, you know, for the sake of something else. And I feel that that was the case in this book. So yeah, I did enjoy this one a great deal. I do know it's available on ebook. So if you're interested in reading it yourself, I highly recommend you do so. And again, it involves twins. So they are actually both from a set of twins. She has an identical twin sister, and I think he has a twin brother. I can't remember if they're identical or not. But yeah, really, really enjoyable, and I like that one quite a bit. The other one that I finished today was Nancy's Mysterious Letter by Carolyn Keene, book 8 in the Nancy Drew Mystery Stories series. That one was really cute. Again, I gave it 3.5 stars. It's, you know, they are what they are. It was written in 1930 something, the early 1930s. So they're very quaint. And the funny thing is that teenagers at the time, and I can't attest to this because obviously I wasn't alive back in 1932. My dad wasn't born until 49, and my mom wasn't born until 52. So it was like my grandmother's generation. But I guess because of life expectancy at the time and things like that, the teenagers seem to be a lot older than they actually, and I even, you know, you see this from seeing old movies and things like that, that times really change. And, you know, people get married later now and stuff like that. But, you know, in 1932, you know, an 18-year-old woman could have potentially been married. You know, they're not, you know, YA wasn't a thing. Being a teen, you know, you might be a teenager, but you quickly got out of that into your 20s. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but there's a definite maturity, that's what I'm trying to say, to Nancy Drew back then than there is now in the series that was written in the 80s. There's a definite shift in her maturity. I'm not saying she's immature in the new books, but she seemed a lot more adult in the older stories, if that makes sense. So yeah, I enjoyed that one a great deal. It's really fun rereading through that series. And the next book that I have to read is going to be a Babysitter's Club book, because I'm making my way through 4 different series for my Back to My Childhood. The 2 different Nancy Drew series, the Babysitter's Club and Sweet Valley. So yay. Yeah, so that's all of my reading for today. So before I get into the knitting, because I always like to end on the knitting for those of you who don't want to watch it, but I did want to do a little update on this. So this is going to sound very, very much like a first world problem. And I fully recognize the fact that it's a first world problem. So for the Kindle Fire, so there's my Kindle Fire, there's my pretty background. If I use my old Kindle, like my Paperwhite, which is just up, not my Paperwhite, my Kindle 10th generation, which is just sitting up there, that when I get books from NetGalley or what have you, I do run them through through Calibre in order to put the covers on there. Again, first world problem. I like seeing the covers. I don't know what it is. It's just with me. I like everything to look uniform. and I want all of the covers to be shown. It's just my quirk. Let's put it that way. So for this though, when I do that and I send to Kindle, like you do the send to Kindle thing from Calibre, or not from Calibre, I do it through my email. When it comes up for my older Kindle, the books appear just on it and everything is hunky-dory. On here, for the Kindle part of it, like the actual reading part of this, those books were not showing up. And it was extremely frustrating to me. So what I've got on here, though, are all the books, of course, that I own on the Kindle. But it took me like a good couple hours to figure out where those send to Kindle documents were going. Those of you who have had a Kindle Fire for a while who do this probably know. They go into your docs folder. And here's my issue. Because they don't have images. This is all you're getting is this, and I can't make it any bigger, sorry guys, is just a little square that says Kindle on it. So if I was to be viewing this, that's sort by. Can you change it? I don't think so. But, you know, yeah, okay, you have to look at the title, big deal. But I'm a visual person. I just want to see the cover. I know what the cover looks like. And the thing is, too, is that if I'm reading one of these books, it doesn't take it to the top that I think maybe you can sort by, no, you can sort by name, type, and date. So date, I think, is when you downloaded it. So, for example, if I'm reading a book and it starts with the letter Y, you know, I now have to, every time I want to read that book, scroll all the way through to Y, which is really super annoying. And I got annoyed with this and I'm like, okay, because a lot of what I read on this is NetGalley books. So I did some hunting over the next few days and I found this amazing app in the Google Play Store. I did go ahead because this has the Android, the Kindle Fire. It uses the Kindle Fire operating system. But I did the workaround. I found it online and I downloaded the Google Play on this so I could get, because you cannot get Libby. You can get Overdrive, but you cannot get Libby on the Kindle App Store. So I have Libby because I think Libby's a nicer way to read ebooks. And I've got Goodreads on here. I've got my Google Drive on here too, right? But I did do the workaround to put Google Play on here. So I searched on Google Play and I found this awesome app. And it's called eBooks, E-B-O-O-X. You can do the upload. So you don't send it to this thing, but you download it to the device, and then you can upload it. There's a little, you probably can't see it, because if you see the little plus sign right there, just where my finger is, you click on that, and it takes you to your downloaded folder on your device, and then you can upload the book. And here, again, it's a really, really bright screen. Sorry, guys, because it's a white screen. White background. They're all my NetGalley books. Like, and I've got them all here, and they've all got the covers, which is what I wanted, because again, I have a problem. I don't have a problem. I have a quirk. And I really, really like reading from this. So the book that you're currently reading, again, displays at the top right here, so I don't have to scroll through either looking for the book. So I'm super, super happy with this now. The only thing is that I find it eats power very quickly. Again, probably because of how bright it is and things like that. And I try not to leave things like running. And my goal is to make sure I turn it off every night before I go to bed. So that way I don't kill the battery on it either. Like my other Kindle, that I could go 5-6 days before it needed a charge. And that's a lot of reading. You guys know how much reading I do. Whereas this, I don't think I'd get more than a day and would probably have to charge it. So that is, I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, but the fact that I can have, you know, if I'm reading a library book, if I'm reading something from the, you know, from Scribed or whatever, I can definitely do it on here. My next thing to do, oh, there I am in the camera again. Hi, guys. Is to get a case for this, a proper case for it, like something that will protect the whole thing. Right now I have it, where'd it go? Oh, I've been using this sleeve because it does fit, but I want to get a proper case for this just so it doesn't, less chance it's going to get damaged. So anyway, so that is all reading stuff done. I did want to give you guys an update on that, and I'll continue to update you and let you know if it ends up crapping out on me, because we are now I've had it since Tuesday and hasn't crapped out on me yet, so the expectation bar for this device is extremely low, considering I've had 2 of them die on me within 3 months. You know, like I said, very, very low expectations on this. If it gets to 4 months, I'll consider it a win. So let me show you guys the knitting. So I was working on my blanket this morning, but then I ended up going out with my mom. Actually, I took Garrett to work, and then Mom and I had to go and get blood work done. The place that we get blood work done, they do have students in there who are learning how to do blood draw, and I got a student, which most times does not bother me. This poor girl, took her 2 tries. She had to do each arm, like both arms. So my one arm that's used all the time, this one, the one with the tattoo, well, both my arms have tattoos on them, but the one on my wrist is the one that is the easier one to get blood out of. And I know that sounds funny, but that's why I got the tattoo on this side. It's so I can remember. It's so I can remember what side my pulse is on, what side is best for blood work, and what side is best for blood pressure. Because I've had a shunt where they had to remove a vein and things like, or, you know, whatever. This arm, you can't get a pulse out of. And it creeped the heck out of when I did, what do you call it? St. John's ambulance course. So I was certified for life-saving. I'm also actually certified to use the paddles. Pretty cool, right? When I did that, they have you practice on other people so you can pair up. And me and this other girl, it was tripping her out that she couldn't get the pulse on the one side. You can get it in my neck, in my ankles. I think you can get it in my ankles. Can you get pulse in an ankle? I don't know. You can. The only place you cannot get it really is in my wrist. And the teacher actually said it was a great teaching tool that if you don't find it in the one wrist, try the other one. You know what I mean? Like just to make sure. So yeah, so that's that. So she tried in this arm because this arm is easier to get blood work out of, or to get blood out of. And unfortunately, because she was a student and this arm, or the vein in this arm is so badly damaged with, I'm sorry if this grosses anyone out, with scar tissue and stuff like that, that it's very, very difficult. It is painful for me, but it's quick and easy. So I'd rather do that. So she ended up having to do this arm instead. But instead of trying to go through here, she went through like this part here, and it hurt. I have to admit, it was an owie. So I got poked twice today by the vampires, and it was unpleasant. So anyway, I did not get that whole story was to tell you guys. And then Mom and I went to bingo, and then I got home, and then Garrett called me, and he's like, okay, it was a short day at work because I didn't have a lot to do. So I had to go pick him up. So blah, blah, blah. I've been kind of in and out all day. So I didn't get as much knitting done on the blanket as I wanted to. But I haven't shown you guys this in a while. So this square was the last one I put in. The last one that I showed you guys. So I have since put in 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.5. As we're halfway through a square. So all of these ones have been put in. There's the black one. That was the bane of my existence. That one was horrible to do. So yeah, so as you can see, I'm partway through a square. I'm using double points to do this. I just bought these and I love them. But yeah, so these are the ones that I opened the other day. So I opened this one, and then the third one is right here. So this will go in tomorrow. So yeah, so I'll show you this stuff next week. But yeah, I am almost done this row. I've got 6 more squares, 6.5 more squares. I will get this done with the books I plan on finishing this week, because I think I still have 5 or 6 books for minis. So I should get this row done, and then that'll give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 400 squares in the blanket. That'll put me at 400, so that's exciting. So that is that. I have been working on my sock. Let me pull that out. My phone is dying. I'm at like 10% battery charge, so I'm going to try and make this quick. So, my sock. That's where I was 2 weeks ago, because I haven't shown you guys in a couple weeks, and that's what I've gotten done, including putting the heel in. So this is the second sock. This is just a self-striping yarn from Night Owl Fibers. It's called Dashing Through the Snow, and I'm just doing a plain vanilla sock, and I'm really enjoying it. So that is that. And really, I'll be honest, guys, I have not touched this week at all my sweater or my shawl, and I didn't touch them much last week either. So I've gotten very little done on both. So you know what, I'm not even going to bother showing them to you because the progress has been so minimal. I mostly wanted to show you guys the blanket. because I haven't shown you guys the blanket in a while, but I've been showing you the minis. So, you know, but I will show you both those things next week because I'm hoping things are going to start calming down. I think I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned in a video, but my hours have changed. Originally, I was working at this new job from 8:30 till 4:30, but I now actually work from 8 till 4. And I am an early bird, so that makes me super happy to go into work at 8 and getting off at 4 o'clock because I was home on Friday at 4:30. I was home at 4:30 in the afternoon, and I had from 4:30 till like 10:30 when I go to bed to do nothing. Nothing. That is all time for me. That's like 5-6 hours like of my time. YouTube, reading, knitting. Those are now my nights. So anyway, I do plan on, of course, getting this video up on Sunday next week for videos. I know I'm still trying to get back into a schedule, guys, and I don't know if I'm going to get my Harlequin anticipated reads done. I am sorry about that because I have some other things that need to go up. I need to put up my March Mystery Madness TBR. I'm hoping to film that tomorrow, post that on Monday, and then I want to do, of course, the rest of my TBR, my regular TBR, is probably going to go up on Thursday. And if what I think it is at the post office right now, I might be doing a separate unboxing video too. So instead of the anticipated reads for Harlequin, you're going to get an unboxing. But I do promise, because I'm slowly getting back to normal. We will be back to normal for March. So bear with me, you know, during this time. It's been a rough couple months for me, and I'm sure you all know that. And I'm doing my best to get back here with videos for you guys because I do miss it. But it's hard getting back into the routine. Yeah, so anyway, so that is my goal for next week. So you should at least have 3 videos from me. I'm hoping 2 to 3 videos from me next week. So fingers crossed. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, any comments, anything at all like that. I'm trying my best again to reply to everybody, and I will see you all in my next video. And until then, take care and happy reading. Bye, guys.